Yo, it's Jeremy. Appreciate you tuning in to the show. Smash that like button, drop a comment, subscribe, do all the algorithmic foreplay. Use your tongue a little. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at The Stale Bread Podcast. Instagram's a little different. It's just at Stale Bread Podcast. And if you're feeling brave, head to stalebreadpodcast.com. Join the Breadhead Nation. We're weird, but we're delicious. Do you think aliens watch Earth porn?
Earth what?
Porn.
Oh my God. I have no idea, man. I couldn't tell you that. If they do, good luck to them. Shit. I mean, if they get some of the bad porn, then they're really probably have a different concept on us.
That'd be rough because then they're gonna think we all like that, and we do not.
God. I mean, let's face it, man. If they get some of the fat girl porn, we're in real trouble because they're gonna look at all the fat. Holy man.
All right. Welcome back to the Stale Bread Podcast. We have a very special guest today. We're talking about UFOs and sightings. And with us today is Dr. C. Julian Gray from the Mutual UFO Network. And he is based out of Washington State. Am I correct?
Correct. Yakima, Washington is my nearest town that I'm around.
Is that a good area for sightings?
Actually, in the Olympic Peninsula, there's a lot of high sightings, different things. Some of these are hoaxes, don't get me wrong. You've got some of these people that see a shooting star and think they saw a UFO. But there are some real instances where we've gotten some data. I have personally seen an object. We could not tell what it was. We know that based on what we were sitting and looking at, it looked to be about 3 or 4 foot long and probably about a foot wide, but it was more oblong type looking, and it was quick. It moved very erratic, and I can't tell you where it was at because that was one of the places where we went further over the next day to kind of see if we could see it because we saw that it was at night. We saw the mountain ridge. And we decided to go exploring, and we were escorted out of the area. But we were on foot. Yeah. So it was pretty interesting. So we have a lot of government oversight, just to tell you. So we have to be careful where we're at. We've started seeing a lot more on the coastal areas, on the coast of Washington State itself, and even lower Oregon there, the upper part of Oregon. And seems to be more active around military installations, but the installations are hundreds of miles away, but it seems to be, and we don't subject it to saying it's a military aircraft or whatever it may be. But what we saw that night disappeared into a mountain range, and there's no way to get anything but through it. And you would be able to tell if it went over it. So that's why we went to explore. And evidently, somebody from the government knew what the hell was going on. So it's definitely, we've seen different aspects of what goes on through what we've got out in the field. We've seen some areas where we found burns on rocks even. Some very oddity type things. But we did see that one myself and Daniel Nims, which is one of my colleagues. We were together. That's usually the guy that I'm hanging around with sometimes. And we're bouncing all over the place, doing different things. So with MUFON, and we're even looking at going into the Utah basin, upper Nevada basins, Idaho, the Dakotas, because we're starting to see more sightings in those areas. But Washington State is a big hotbed. We've got multiple people in here, a lot of volunteers that work for us and work with us. So, my prior background with the government and being in the military, I had some access to certain things that I can't discuss. And it's really imperative that I stay kind of away from the government as much as I possibly can, because I don't want to get pigeonholed back into anything that I don't want to be questioned on something that I don't know exactly what it is. That's why I started looking at this, because I saw some anomalies. So it's been pretty interesting little deal. I've been working with MUFON now for a little over 8.5 months. Prior to that, I was working with the government in a location I cannot discuss. And it was similar to seeing some of this, but not as much as what we're seeing or hearing from the field. So there are a lot more sightings than you can imagine. So, especially up in that peninsula area. And we don't know why. That's the whole key. So a lot of over the water type stuff is what we start seeing, but we're not taking ships and boats out there. They say it comes towards the land and then it just disappears. So,
do you have any guesses of why? Like, because there's been some theories that they're not coming from space; they're coming from the ocean. Do you have?
We that's the whole piece. We haven't seen anything from the observations that I've seen. And been out on the field pieces, because what we do is we typically, we hear these things are happening at night, because I guess the illumination you can see. We've had a couple where they've seen them from boats, but they stay low to the water, and then they come up, even in some of the streamed areas, but they're not very big. You would anticipate these to be a big ship of some sort or object or whatever. These are not big; they're small. And I don't know what they are. We anticipate that it's small. It's small observation vehicles, basically, or objects that are just seeing what's out here.
Like scouting vehicles type?
Yeah, it's like vast. There's a vast amount of information that we keep trying to gather, but we are being stonewalled by the government a lot of times. We had one of our groups actually had a photograph, and that went hush hush. They came in to wipe servers from the buildings. I mean, that was pretty intense. And that's why we kind of stayed more remote and we communicate, and basically our databases, have not been breached but they have been challenged. So, and we've got a pretty good network of people that take care of that stuff. But again, we are seeing sightings coming from the ocean area. We don't know if they're coming from the sea or whatever, but it is going inland. But what we saw was near a particular lake, and I won't name the name of the lake, but where we saw it at, but it came like over the mountain, and then it went into the mountain, and it didn't make any sense, but it was on the opposite side. It didn't go through the mountain. It just like it went into the mountain. And that's where we started exploring, and that's where we got challenged at.
I wish they would hurry up. I'm tired of working these 12-hour days. I want them to come scoop me up.
I can tell you this much: I'd wish they'd gather some of these nitwits that we have up here in Washington State. Jesus Christ! I mean, they just need to get a busload of them and just haul them to them if they come with a motor.
Sorry if we have any Washington State fans. I don't think we do.
Listen, I can tell you right now, what's the oddest thing that's happened to me doing this, and it's kind of scary, is when you go in to the restroom in a little restaurant, mom and pop deal, and then these guys come in and they know your name. I'm washing my hands, and these guys go in. One goes to the urinal, and the other's standing kind of like he's waiting. He goes, so you're Dr. Gray. I'm like, yeah. Well, you're one of those UFO guys? And I'm like, and I have no uniform on. I have nothing to identify. I'm with MUFON, but yet they knew who the hell I was. And then we were new in this little town. We weren't even discussing anything while we were eating. So these guys were watching us, which was scary. We were parked into a national park about 3 miles up the road. That's where our camp was. And we came into town to get something to eat. We hadn't been discussing any of this information. We're all on air cards and everything else where we can get service, which one of them's a satellite link. And these guys started asking questions. It's like myself and Daniel, we decided, hey, let's pack our shit up. We're out of here, dude. We're done. We're getting out. I mean, I was like, and nothing's more fearful than to know that, first off, when you get escorted out of one place, 3 weeks earlier, and then all of a sudden we're in a whole different area. We're 200 miles almost from where we were at that got escorted. And then these guys stopped me in a bathroom. I thought I was going to get mugged. I actually went down and changed vehicles. I bought a used vehicle and put it in my brother's name. So I could just, like, I sold the vehicle. I got my brother to put it in his name. So and he sent me a tag from Georgia. He got it registered in Georgia, so I'm up here on the Georgia tag. I'm from a little town out of Folkestone area, around in there, a little town up there near Nahunta, Georgia. So that's where I'm originally from, but I've been out in the West Coast for over 25 years now.
So when was the first time, or the first time that you actually were interested in UFOs or
Yeah, I was going to
alien
ask the same
life?
question. Like, what got you into UFOs?
Well, I was working at the government, and I can tell you, I worked at a NASA facility for 5 years, and I got to see some pretty interesting stuff at the NASA facility. It just intrigued me. There was no sighting, no UFO or this or that or the other, but I talked to a gentleman that was a pilot, and he expressed that he had encountered some things up in the upper California basin area up in Northern California that he found pretty intriguing. And NASA was actually looking in that area at one time. So I just found it, and I was working as a contractor, and I found it pretty interesting. And I just started doing a little research, and just kind of kept it to myself over the years. And then I got put into a special program with the government and out in Nevada, and stayed on that. But I've never, and I can tell you this, so I've never seen an alien itself. I've never seen an alien vehicle other than what we saw in the night sky that night, and up close, because if they've got it, they damn sure don't let but certain people get in there, and I wasn't one of them. So I can tell you that. But I found it pretty intriguing. It's taken on a whole new light. I'm divorced. I have a family. Their kids are grown up and stuff, but they think I still work for the government. The kids do. The ex, she's doing her thing wherever she's at. Could give a rat's ass less. But I just took it upon myself, and I see the kids every once in a while, and they think, "Hey, Dad still works in Nevada, but Dad's not Nevada no more." So,
Was this a reason for the divorce, or
a lot of it had to do. I had an ex-wife that was just actually a funnel for money, that funneled money out of our account to her family, herself, and decided that it was easier for my kids to have a certain amount, but she wanted to make sure that she took care of her family as much as she took care of my family. And working and being gone quite a bit, where I was at, and not at home, and not paying attention like a ding dong, with finances and everything, because I was, intrigued with my job and doing what I like to do. And one thing led to another. And after 23 years and the kids were old enough, we were done. So, but this played a role in it too, working for the government. So, because it's very demanding where I was at.
Okay. So, as far as what's your crew like there? How many people do you have working on sightings, and also earlier you also said about actual data. What's the actual data that you're collecting?
Well, in the sightings, what we do is we go out and do a complete walkout. Basically, we get the information from the individuals that send it to us. We interview them, and then we ask a lot of questions. We ask where it's at. A lot of these are sightings that aren't right in your face. I mean, some of these are miles away sightings. So we have to go try to piece it all together. We have to go back to the spot where they saw it at, if they saw it in the distance 2 miles away or a mile away or whatever. And that's what we do, is we interview these people. And don't get me wrong, we go to some individuals that clearly have a whole different light. I mean, I say this laughingly, but everybody laughs about the tinfoil hats. Well, we've encountered those. Trust me.
Actual tinfoil hats?
Yeah, actually tinfoil hats.
Oh my!
It's the hardest thing not to laugh when you get to interviewing them. But the guy goes, "I want to shield myself from any radiation," and I'm thinking to myself, "What the hell's a damn tinfoil hat going to do for you?" And what he did, he took a cowboy hat and he put tinfoil all over it. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, okay. So, I mean, we've had people we've interviewed. The funniest one was interviewing a lady that said that she was talked to by aliens. Said it landed on her front porch, and and it talked to me. I'm like, okay. So, you know,
I got to ask you, do you think aliens are real?
yes, I believe there is another creature or being of some sort that is looking at us as people to see what we do. I think they're monitoring our behaviors. I really do.
Do you think aliens watch Earth porn?
Earth, what?
Porn.
Oh my God.
I have no idea, man. I couldn't tell you that. If they do, good luck to them. Shit. I mean, if they get some of the bad porn, then they really
Oh, man.
probably have a different concept on us.
That'd be rough because then they're gonna think we all fuck like that, and we do not.
God.
I mean, let's face it, man. If they get some of the fat girl porn, we're in real trouble because they're going to look at all the fat. So, I mean, geez, yeah. So
now I gotta throw away my tinfoil hat because it doesn't work.
yeah, no, I
man.
mean, listen, I can't make this stuff up, man. These people are just, some people really lead you on these goose chases that are, it's insane. We had one call us up and it said that not only did he see a UFO, but he saw Bigfoot talking, out with a UFO talking to him. I'm like, okay. So that really intrigued us. I'm like, look, if there's a Bigfoot out here, there's got to be a print. And we went out all over the place. The only thing we found out there was elk. Elk print, from the elk that were trampling the ground and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this guy had some serious LSD drugs or something, because he just insisted on this thing. He was probably about 38, 39 years old. And I mean, and he was a whack job too, tattooed all up, crazy. I'm thinking, Jesus. So we get some pretty odd things. It's pretty fun though. I do believe there's something out there. We just can't find it yet and explain it.
On that note, Dr. Gray, do you, out of everything you've researched, out of everything you've seen, what is the one case that made you stop and go, okay, this is either aliens or I need a fucking therapist?
Thanks for listening. We're going to take a quick break.
We'll be right back.
Yo, y'all ever drink an energy drink and feel like your soul left your body?
You mean the shakes, the crash, and the existential regret?
Yeah, like your heart's racing, but your brain no do things, no words. What?
Well, guess what? We're not doing that anymore. We leveled up.
We found a better option. No sugar, no garbage, and somehow it tastes good.
It's called Dubby. It's got the caffeine of coffee, but without making you feel like you're suddenly fluent and squirrel.
And no weird science words on the label. Like, what the hell is a maltodextrin anyway? That sounds like a Pokemon.
No sugar, no crash, no fillers, just clean fuel.
Hey, I've got kids and a job. I don't have time to ride the blood sugar roller coaster.
I just like not feeling like death 40 minutes after chugging it.
Go hit up dubby.gg. Use the coupon code STALEBREAD at checkout to get 10% off. Keep your heart steady and your podcast flow deadly. Dubby.gg.
I would say it was the one when it's like we were 2:00 in the morning when we saw that shape, and then it went across that lake and into the mountain, and it did not go over it. It went into it. And the research we did the next day to try to find it, that was what the hair stood up on my back, because when it disappeared, it's like everything got silent, like extremely quiet. And that's kind of the thing that it made the hair stand up on my back. So, and I'm like, that's pretty odd. But that's the most intriguing thing I've ever seen. Huh?
I've never heard the hair stand up on my back.
On your back.
Neck, arm, head, never
It's just
back.
a metaphor. It's a metaphor, though. You know what I mean, though, because it's got that creepy feeling to it.
Let's go backwards a little bit. What's your training? Like you've worked for the government and everything. You obviously have a doctorate. How did you learn? What's your education?
Well, I went through, I did the basic thing. I went through the military. I went in, I did my 4 years. I got out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a job with a contractor. I had some schooling when I was in the Navy and stuff. That's where I came from, is the United States Navy. I finished a regular bachelor's degree. I did that through different courses. Back then, we didn't have online courses. They had to go at night, and I did it through one of the schools there at Fresno State. So finished that up at Fresno State, got my bachelor's, and then what I did after that was when I went to work for the government. That's where the change really happened. After I left working what I was doing with the contractor I was at, that's when I went into the government, which I can't really discuss a lot about what I did with the government because there's a lot of top secret information that's involved. It deals with various parts of our defense. And I was one of the guys at the forefront that there was probably about 25 of us that were together that worked in various things that you're starting to see from the late 80s to now that we are starting to see come through some of our military defenses that we helped develop.
What do you think about this giant asteroid that they keep talking about? What's the name of it? A1?
I've heard a little bit about that. And I think that, these things are going to be, they've been there for years. NASA has found that there's multiple asteroids that have come close to Earth. This was probably going to be the closest one in ever. But these things have been out there even before we started doing our research. Just think, before the telescopes were invented and the different things, there's no telling what the hell was going out there in outer space. But I believe this asteroid probably is going to have some impact, but it's not going to be on our planet. It's going to be one of the other planets, and it's probably going to tear something up if it hits it. But it may just go through our system. But if you know anything about any asteroids or any meteors that hit the Earth, there are some metals in those meteors and things that are nothing native to our planet. So even when you see some of the hits, there's guys that dig them up all the time. And it's pretty intriguing to see that things from outer space have different levels. I mean, some of these meteors and stuff that they find that are on the ground, they can't cut them with any diamond tip blades or anything like that. I mean, I see them all the time. Guys discuss it, different forums and everything. Yeah, trying to cut this stuff, it's insane. So, but I believe that it's going to get close to us, but nothing to impact us.
That brings me to my next point. If I even had a first. A lot of sightings seem to be happening more and more. They're getting more frequent, and just like you mentioned with 3i Atlas, do you think that this is because something is going to happen, or do you think it's simply because technology is improving?
I think the latter part of what you're talking about, technology has improved, and we're just now starting to see the different things. You think about this, and I'll give you a great example of this. If you ever get a chance, go to Las Vegas and go to the Sphere, which is one of the newest AI type protocols that they've got out there, where they're setting up Android type creatures, I call them creatures, to be able to communicate with you. I mean, they'll talk to you like we're talking right now. A complete robotic type, what they call a gray bot or whatever you want to call it. So I believe our technology has done a lot as far as to show us what we can see and what we can do. It's just amazing to go back and let's just talk a little bit about everything that's happened in the last 200 years. I mean, we went from shooting musket balls to shooting missiles. Think about that. So, seriously, I mean, and the technology we have now with stealth. Stealth didn't just get invented, guys. Stealth is taken from something that we have discovered or has landed or we found. I mean, it's plain and simple. I worked in that industry. I can tell you now, we didn't invent all this. Go back and see that our society has completely changed. And now with technology, iPhones, iPads, different types of different things of that nature. But when you start getting into the audio visual, you've got cameras out there that can take a snapshot of a gnat flying. Think about that.
Well, as we get closer to like a super intelligence as far as AI goes, do you think that will help us communicate with other planets or beings at some point? Will that be an aid for us?
I believe it possibly can, but I believe also that is the technology that will ruin mankind. That will be the end of mankind if that takes over. And I'll just be honest with you. I believe that if there's creatures out there that are exposing themselves to us, that we sooner or later are going to find out that they've been here the whole time. We don't know who it is or what it is. You know, I mean, honestly, we know we all bleed. We've got our own system. I mean, think about that. Think about our bodies. Our bodies are amazing pieces of anything we have. It's the most intricate piece that we have in the world is a human being. Same thing with any other animal. You know, it's got its recovery systems. It's got its own blood flows. It's got everything to heal itself to a certain point until we get into some disease or whatever we can't. So it's out there. Something's out there, and something's giving us this information and technology. It's got to be.
What's the future of UFO work like? What are you working towards? What is kind of the goal of the Mutual UFO Network?
The big thing is not exposure to say, oh, we got UFOs. No, it's to understand what the unidentified flying objects are, what they're doing here, and what can we learn from it. The problem we've got is everybody with a damn shotgun sees something flying around and they want to shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody wants to kill it. Yeah, but it's not. You don't know if it shoots back. That's a bad thing. And you don't know if it gets shot down, if it brings more weaponry to it or whatever it may be to rescue it.
Fuck that. I'll steal their space guns and murder them, take their ship.
Well, the one I saw, it wouldn't have been that. It wouldn't have been that big, if whatever it is, it could, like I said, whatever that vehicle was that we saw, and I call it a vehicle because that's what I would consider it to be, the object that it just didn't make sense what it was. But then it just disappeared into the mountain.
And that's why I thought to ask this question. I'm going to nerd the fuck out for a second. If it's interdimensional, that would explain it phasing into that mountain. It just disappeared. So you're saying the size wasn't that big. That could be a tear in the dimension or something like that. Some type of portal.
Yeah, it could possibly be. I mean, we've got one group that is looking at that because they talk about these places in Utah with these portals and things of that nature because they're doing a lot of experimentation in different places in Utah, with just different sightings and stuff they've seen there. Some more's happening up in North Dakota and South Dakota, but it seems to be, and another place it's really active with is our Native American people. It seems to happen a lot around the old Native American ruins, grounds, and things of that nature.
And that's how they can build such good casinos.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Maybe that's how they build these crafts, from the casino money.
No, I can tell you this much: the casino's stuck up here on the Indian reservation, so and a lot of the other ones too. So
they haven't been visited. They haven't been visited yet.
But it's interesting because we do see some sightings around those places too, and that's an oddity because we've got one team that was approached that were on the backside of one of the reservations, and they were checking out a sighting, and they were approached by the tribal police type people that they weren't even on the reservation, and they monitored what they were doing. If they cross a certain thing, it's like, where the hell do these guys come from? They were nowhere. Our team was nowhere near other than probably a half a mile from the reservation, but for some reason they knew we were in that area, what was going on. And then when we got back on the road, our team did, they were stopped, and they were stopped not in a reservation or anything bordering the reservation. They were stopped down the road quite a ways and asked a lot of questions. So we have to be careful in my organization because it is exciting, but it's also scary because people do not know or understand what is really going on out there. So, and it's the truth. It scares people. Change, fear of the unknown scares people a lot, especially, the way our world is now. So,
we just need to go back to what our mothers taught us: look and don't touch.
Yeah. Well, maybe these aliens operate that way too. I don't know. But like I said, when you hear some of these stories, it's just mind-boggling. And you got to weed through the crap too, honestly. So, because some of it is crap, and we spend a lot of time. We are privately funded, and we do well. I can tell you that. Okay. I don't know who all the funders are, but they seem to be able to pour some money in this place. because they're interested too.
Well, if they want to pour money into a podcast,
Yeah. We'd love to have a sponsor.
we could use just a little bit, you know. But I did have a question as far as like some of your other beliefs, like do you believe in like angels, demons, ghosts, or anything like that?
You know, bringing that up, I can tell you right now, I believe there's a higher being, a God. I believe in God. Also believe in the devil. I've seen people that actually look like the devil. I've been around a person that I could have swore he was a devil. And I also believe in angels too. And I believe that I, at one time, was touched by an angel a long time ago when I got saved after I'd lived a pretty rough part of my life and stuff. And my daughter took me to church, and I got saved. And I had a I had empyema I was operated on about 8 years before that. I had a massive pain in my side, and where they had taken the chest tubes out, and it was scar tissue. And I went up and asked the Lord to, you know, change my life and do the right things for me. And a man came up and touched. He said, "Son, I know you're in pain here." And I hadn't told anybody about my pain. I wore that pain on my own, that scar myself. And he put his hands on me, and basically he healed me right there at the altar. And that is a true statement. And my daughter led me to that church. I since left that church. And when I went through my divorce and everything else, again, my wife was going there, my ex-wife was going there, and my daughter led me to that. And that's why I believe there's angels, devils, and I believe in God. So, and there's a lot of devils out there. Trust me. I've been a devil myself every once in a while. I can tell you that, but I've not popped any horns out. I can tell you, but I think we all go through that in our lives.
Yeah,
But,
I think we all have our phases.
but I believe in angels. I believe we're touched by angels a lot of times in our dignities and things of that. And these could be that. I have no idea. I believe that there was an ancient group of people that came to Earth and actually did some of the things. You can look at all these other civilizations. They show different things in some of their drawings and some of their carvings of a higher society that came to Earth. I believe those pyramids weren't just built by man. I can tell you that. There's no way.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Nope.
That was going to be my next question.
Yep. I believe that those things had help. There's no, you can look at those stones. Take a look at those stones. Tell me how many people do you think it would take to move some of those stones? You look down at the Mayans and Incans down in South America, the Aztecs. You look at Machu Picchu. Look at that. You know, it's not only ingenuity, but how did they learn this? You know, how did they learn? Think about how we learn now, and imagine that when you were without the tools that we have now to cut block, concrete, ship it, things of that nature. Somebody, some way, shape, or form helped them create those proper angles and things of that nature. So, absolutely, well, I believe there's something.
There's been theories that it's been not built up but built down. So they started from the top down.
Yeah, I would say you'd have to start from the bottom because you have to build a strong foundation. So, and I believe that, but I truly believe if you look at the civilizations, if you follow anything down in Central America and see the vast aqueducts that were created through the cisterns and stuff of those springs, it's amazing. And the only reason that they fell was because of the Spaniards. If the Spanish had not came in there and conquered that central part of America, Central America, they probably would have been a thriving society for thousands of years. And they were a thriving society before they came in and brought disease and control and everything else. So
there's a fun book on that. If by fun you want to be fucking bored, it's called Guns, Germs, and Steel. If you haven't had the opportunity and you are somewhat interested, that explains how certain societies developed faster than others, why some were stuck where they are, resource opportunities, all that stuff. So on a serious note, that actually is a good book. Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got to ask, man, if a UFO came here right now and beamed, would you walk into it and go up?
No.
Okay, well, what if they landed?
I'm not that brave, man. I'll be honest with you. I like looking at a distance. I'm okay with the distance. I'll let you walk into it if you want.
No. What if they landed instead and someone walked out and said, "Hey, Dr. Gray, just come with us. You'll be safe. We want to show you everything."
No.
Would you do it? What if they had great tits?
No.
What if it was an orgy ship and they were like, "Yeah, well, nope."
Hey, I'm too old. I'm too old to get into all that crazy shit. No, honestly,
They have
no,
regenerative things.
yeah, but no, but
I'll
seriously,
go. Jeremy, I'll
I
go.
mean, I'm a chicken. I'm a chicken when it comes to that. I'm great looking at a distance, dude. So it's better to be an observer.
I'd stay too.
Oh man, I'm in. Send me to Mars. Send to the aliens. I'm in. I'm gone. Let's go.
Jeez.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Let's go see the universe.
So you need a tin hat, right?
Yeah, apparently.
I'll have a whole tin suit.
Yeah, tin suit. Oh man. Oh, this has been great. Thanks, Dr. Gray. This has been a good time. You guys.
What do you think? Well, let's find out what his next ventures might be before we go.
Okay.
One of my next ventures is probably going to be going into the Utah Basin. There seems to be some paranormal activity there, along with they're saying, along with the UFO sightings, and the different type of things they're saying. But they're throwing paranormal in there, saying that they're having the Indians or the Native Americans, to be politically correct, are saying that they are seeing visions of different things like that, and they're seeing like ghosts and things of that nature, but they're also seeing these UFOs. So we think they're kind of tied together, and we're probably going to be going down into the Utah Basin, Upper Nevada Basins area in there, and taking around. It seems to be whatever's showing up. It seems to be close to mines. Like old mines, like old gold mines, silver mines, or whatever they were mining, copper. It doesn't matter really. It just seems to be, I don't know if it's ore attracting type beings or whatever, but it seems to be some of the things that we're looking at. So, but yeah, that's my next one. I'm going to be leaving this area where I'm at now and trying to transitional going back across the United States, because I want to get closer to my kids. And being out here for so long, and it's kind of lonely up on the mountain up here. So I don't have a girlfriend or a wife, and really don't want one doing this type of stuff, because it's kind of different. So yep.
Yeah, that could be a little damper on a relationship, I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it to you this way: it doesn't work very well. Already tried it once. So
unless you get an alien with nice tits,
it doesn't matter. She still had nice ones, but you may as well call her an alien. So she acted like one. So, yep.
All right. So is there any anything you want to plug, or if people want to donate, like a web address or anything like that?
No, I would just tell you if you're interested in anything, go to MUFON. They have a site. You can, if you see a sighting, that's the most intriguing thing that I think that you could possibly ever get. If you ever see a sighting of something, I'm not sure where all you are at. I believe, Mike, you're in Florida, right?
I'm in Florida. Keller's in North Carolina. Jeremy's down in Florida as well.
Okay, well, Keller, you might want to look up there, because in the mountains up there, in the Smoky Mountains and things of that nature up there, in West Virginia, they've had some pretty good sightings. Besides all the stupid drone, sightings and stuff. I had a friend of mine up there that wanted to go shotgunning up there. He was talking about shooting the damn things out of the air with shotguns and rifles.
Oh, everybody's got shotguns and rifles now.
Oh yeah, no, you don't laugh, dude. You laugh. He was starting a club, and they were gonna go up there with 30-06s and all kinds of stuff. And when they saw these things fly and start shooting them down, their club got raided. There was about 6 of them, and they got raided. It was pretty funny. So he's like, they came in and started asking questions. He said, and all they did is just kind of set it up as a group chat. By the way, they watch you on Facebook really good too. So, and they were doing all kinds of stuff. He set his little website up, little Facebook page up, about drone hitters or something like that. Yeah, it didn't go over so well. So, because guys really wanted to go up there and take a trip. They want to do it like a guys' weekend and just go up there and blast the crap out of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not too far from the Smoky Mountains, but I'm pretty close to Blowing Rock, Boone, the Appalachian Mountains.
Blowing what?
Oh, the
Blowing
Blue Ridge
Rock.
Mountains, the Smoky
Yeah, the
Mountains,
Blue
the Blue
Ridge.
Ridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
Blue Ridge and all that, and Appalachian Mountains. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. Take a look. You can look on the site. You'll see some of the things. A lot of activity was in Washington State, and that's why I kind of came into it, just to try it out and see what it was like. So I thought it was pretty intriguing. So, yep.
Well, see, joke's on y'all because I'm actually the alien. So I
Little
fooled
antennas
you.
popping out all over the place, huh? Thank you guys for letting me on your podcast. I appreciate it. So, and just
No, thank you.
y'all have a
thanks.
great one.
All right.
All right. All
You
right.
too.
Well,
Best in your ventures.
Yes.
Jeremy, check us out.
Remember, folks, if you're out of lotion, spit in your hand. Peace, motherfuckers.
Holy man.
The Stale Bread Podcast is Daniel Keller, Jeremy Pope, and Michael Koliznik, recorded live at SMG Studios, a division of SMG Communications. Executive producers Michael Koliznik and Tony Skipperson Clark.
Hey, it's Keller. Thanks for listening to the show. Like, comment, and subscribe on all of our social media. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at The Stale Bread Podcast and on Instagram at Stale Bread Podcast. Don't forget our website at stalebreadpodcast.com to join the Breadhead Nation.